Welcome to PG6Net's review of the Mossberg 590. This is one of my favorite shotguns. I like it for a couple of reasons. First off, just like every good shotgun should be, it has a big wide open hole here, no loading gate. I like that. Next off, it's a pump, and just like every other good shotgun, it should have a bayonet lug. Yeah, that's kind of a joke, but I really like shotguns that can take bayonets. They're kind of close weapons to begin with, so having a bayonet capability is a good thing in my opinion. If it didn't, I wouldn't be heartbroken, but I thought it was cool when I bought it. Still think it is. That one has a heat shield, which I think it looks cool if nothing else. Also, it has a plain bead sight. Get a look at that. Which, when it comes to shotguns, that's exactly what I like. And to answer the thousands of questions that I'm going to get on this stock is a Mesa Tactical shotgun tube adapter. It's AR shotgun tube adapter. Something like that. It takes an AR buffer tube, puts on a shotgun. I don't remember the name of it. People leave me alone. It has a MOE buttstock with the extra pad on the back, which you actually kind of need with this, with full power rounds. If you're shooting birdshot, you don't, but I don't usually shoot birdshot, so I have the pad. Also, it has an MOE pistol grip, which I cut down the back of to fit the tube. It's not really that hard. All you need is some sandpaper and a saw. Sorry guys, I'm getting over a cold, so unless you want me to stop talking, I'm going to have to blow my nose every once in a while. That whole stock setup is basically, let me run through the prices. The adapter itself is like 80 bucks. It's about 20 bucks for the pistol grip. Maybe about 10 bucks for a castle nut, 5 bucks. It depends where you buy it. If you go to a gun show, it should be 5 bucks, but any retail store, they're going to charge you an extra 5 bucks because they can. The tube should be about 30-40 bucks, depending on where you buy it. And the MOE stock, Magpul went through some price crap here recently. I don't know where the MOE stock actually is priced right now, but it used to be $60. I thought the CTR, which looks like this, was actually $100, and it's actually $69.99 now. So I don't know where that's priced exactly, but I'm sure it's lower than $60 now. So maybe round about I'm gonna say $180 for the stock, and it is totally worth it in my opinion. It is an awesome stock for any shotgun. They make it for several models. I don't know if they do Winchester or not, but I know they do Mossberg and Remington. Sorry again. Anything else before we get started? Oh, a lot of people will talk about the safety on Mossberg being an issue. The safety is only an issue if you use the safety. Okay? If you go to some training course, they're going to make you use the safety, but in actual combat, this is what I do. Okay? Your shotgun has the ultimate safety built into it. It's right there. You click that and bring your pump back. Not all the way, but like right about there, about halfway. The gun is out of battery. It will not fire. But as soon as you get to, you can. Okay? It's not rocket science. There's no reason for you to ever need a safety on a shotgun, in my opinion. I do not like the crossbolt safety of the Remington 870. I hate a lot of stuff about that shotgun. But I should probably move on from that. Get a better view. That's one of the reasons I really like this shotgun, is that the safety is out of the way. And honestly, if I was going to run a safety, I would use this shotgun with the traditional stock because I like its safety placement better anyway. It's a tang safety instead of a crossbolt. Basically, crossbolt safeties are awesome to take off, but they suck putting them back on, in my opinion. It should either be a selector lever or a tang safety. Okay, that's pretty much everything I had to say before I get started. So let's start with philosophy. Where does a shotgun fit into your systems? Well, for me, it's a backup. Not one I carry, but should something happen to this to make it non-functional, this is bomb-proof. This is more reliable than an AK-47 by far. So I know a lot of people who go, well, you should have an AK, that way you don't need a backup. Well, if I had an AK, I would want to back up even more. Shotguns, especially pump action shotguns, I'm not going to talk about semi-autos in this, I don't like semi-autos either, are utterly reliable. There's nothing that can go wrong, basically. If you run little tiny short shells in them, like the, what are they called, those little 1-inch things, like cutlery levers talked about before, they aren't reliable. But that's because of the shells. If you use standard 2 3/4 inch shells or 3-inch shells, shotguns will run fine all the time, especially pumps. They are the most reliable gun on the planet. There's less things that can go wrong with that gun than can go wrong with bolt actions. So it's basically the ultimate backup gun. I'm also going to call it a primary weapon as well. I mean, if you can't afford an AR-15, shotguns are cheap and readily available. Especially in like the Mossberg Maverick 88, Mossberg 500. Even the 590 is actually pretty reasonably priced. Any of the 870s are reasonably priced. I could go on and on all day listing pump shotguns. Those are just the most popular ones, and in my opinion, they're the best. Okay, that little selection right there. I like all of the Mossbergs. The Maverick 88 kind of sucks, but you know, what do you expect when you get a $100 shotgun? I guess it's actually a $200 shotgun, I think. I don't remember, it's been so long since I bought one. They're very cheap. A lot of people would suggest a pump shotgun as your first gun, and honestly, if defense is a priority for you and you don't have time to get a 22, learn how to use it, then get a 223 and learn how to use that, you need something right now that you can defend yourself with, the shotgun's a good choice. As I can take you out with a $5 box of birdshot and pretty much have you proficient enough with the thing to defend yourself in an afternoon. It might take a couple boxes of birdshot to get really proficient, but in, I don't know, half hour or an hour, it wouldn't take long, guys. I mean, it's basically learning how to shoot a fucking shotgun. The only reason I would say maybe 2 boxes instead of just 1 is because it's a pump. And it's not just pull the trigger. You need to practice the pump. And when you have the rhythm down on one of these, it is just as fast as a semi-auto. Okay, I don't like semi-autos. I already said that once. And the reason is, semi-autos are more complicated, more expensive, and more prone to failure than this gun. The Mossberg semi-auto version of this, it's the 930. It's basically about $300 more. Takes 2 or 3 shells less than this one can hold, and I just don't see any advantage to that. That and being able to shoot fast with a low capacity gun really doesn't count for shit. Okay, I would rather have the manual action and not waste all my ammo. It's kind of like me with AR-15s. I do not like full auto. That's why I don't buy a bump fire stock. I think it's the stupidest shit on the planet, as a matter of fact. Reason is, you have 30 rounds in that gun. 30 aimed shots are a lot better than 30 sprayed from the hip. Even if it is accurate aimed fire or whatever. No. It's not for me. And if you look at anyone who did Special Forces, Ranger School, SEALs, any Delta Force, any of those, look at how they shoot. This should tell you a lot about what you need to know about full auto fire. The most highly trained people in the world, you know how they shoot? 2-round bursts, maybe 3-round bursts in semi-auto. Okay, it's bang, 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 and that's all they do, because they hit their fucking targets. If you do 1 to the head and 2 to the chest, you don't need full auto fire. It's just my opinion. There's a lot of my opinions on this channel. Anyway, you don't need a semi-auto in a shotgun. Also in philosophy, we've wandered from that a considerable bit. Home defense, any shotgun's pretty decent at that. There's a huge debate on shotgun versus handgun versus shotgun with this load versus shotgun with that load versus rifle. Shotguns are good for home defense. Just get over it. I mean, they are a little long in some cases. I personally don't find that to be an issue. And just FYI, I use a SIG 226 for home defense usually. Either it or this, one or the other. Track record on these, I already said they're very reliable. Caliber. When it comes to shotguns, I'm a 1 caliber type of guy. 12 gauge and 12 gauge only. It has nothing to do with anything besides the fact that I can take the recoil, it hits hard, and it is so much cheaper than every other round. I mean, like, 12 gauge, a box of birdshot's about $5 to $7. 20 gauge, it's like $10 to $20. It's a huge difference. 12 gauge is way cheaper because it's the more common round. And that's what this shotgun is, of course, 12 gauge. Magazine, this is 8+1. I looked around quite a while before I finally settled on this shotgun, and one of the reasons was capacity. I actually thought it was 9+1 when I bought it, which would actually be perfect in my opinion. 8+1 will do. That's about the highest capacity shotgun I could find. There are, don't even get me started on Sega 12s. Okay, I know there's people out there going, there's better capacity than that. Well, okay, you got me started on it. Any shotgun that takes a magazine, I'm not interested in. Why is that? Well, that's simpler, attach to the gun and doesn't get lost. First off. Second off, I've never seen a magazine for a shotgun that wasn't awkward to carry and awkward to load. Like the Sega 12s are awkward as shit. You have to lock the bolt back first. why would you do that? It's faster just to slam rounds into that hole. It's, yet again, my opinion. Accuracy, it is a shotgun. Shotguns spray pattern, so this is a cylinder bore. You can kind of figure out what it's like from that. Slugs, I have shot out to a couple hundred yards, and you could hit a man-sized target with a slug at 100 to 200 yards pretty easily. At 25 yards, it's child's play hitting somebody with a slug. They are actually really accurate for what they are. Size and weight. Shotguns are big and heavy. That's because they kick a lot. They need it. Ergonomics. Pretty much the only thing I have to say on that is the safety thing we already talked about. Otherwise, ergonomics are good. Materials used. This gets interesting because there are models of this that have steel trigger guards, models of this have polymer trigger guards, and models of this with heavy barrels and models with light barrels. This is the light barreled polymer trigger guard version. I picked that for a very specific reason. First off, I don't like the heavy barrel with the ghost ring sights. I don't like ghost ring sights on shotguns. Sorry. And I don't like extra weight in the barrel for no fucking reason. I like the polymer trigger guard instead of the metal because it's lighter. That's the only reason. In my opinion, polymer versus metal trigger guard, I'm going to come down on polymer every time because it's lighter and it's just as strong. Durability, reliability, I already talked about. Variations. The 590 is basically the military version of the 500. The 500 can be had in tactical models as well that kind of mirror this gun. Basically, I would pick this over the 500 because of capacity and the bayonet lug. That's all it has over the 500. It has 3 extra rounds and a bayonet lug. And it looks cooler, in my opinion. Oh, and it's heavier built, too. It's supposedly, this shotgun can last quite a bit longer, but I don't know how much truth there is to that, so moving on. Accessories. Basically, there's 2 shotguns that almost every combat accessory on the planet is made for. One of them is the 590. The other one is the 870. Every accessory on the planet pretty much will be made for the 2 of those. Except right now for the mag pull furniture. It's only on the 870, which kind of sucks. But, you know, I already worked around that anyway, so I don't care if they come out with a stock for the 590. I probably wouldn't buy it. Value. These shotguns are tremendous value. They're about $400 to $500 depending on which one you get. It's a lot of gun for the money. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and don't forget to thumbs up the video.